Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, we've got Baddutch playing the Tier 10 Imperial Japanese Navy destroyer Shimakaze. Matchmaking? Well, matchmaking is, I would say, decent. There's not a whole lot of radar on the enemy team. You've got Salem. But there's an enemy CV to contend with, and that's always a challenge in any destroyer. I'm going to go in here real quick and address the UI bug that was introduced with update 0.10.5. These will not stay set for replays, but I want you to have this information. So there's that. You can see them Immelman's aircraft headed out there, hopefully to do some spotting. Now, I don't know a whole heck of a lot about this game. There wasn't a whole lot of information about it submitted. You can see Baddutch does have one of the, we'll call them eccentric premium camos for the Shima. If you're relatively new to the game, you may not have ever seen this camouflage before. There was an in-game event where we played kind of souped up versions of ships like the Shimakaze, the Z-52, and some others. And there were camos on those ships that were, well, like this. Kind of Mad Max in their overall look, if that makes sense. And this is one of those. I don't know whether Baddutch bought this camo or won this camo. I think some of them were available in boxes. Moves right into the Alpha Cap with Grossovoy. Always risky, but fun to watch. Put some shots out on the Shima. Little chip damage there. Gotta be careful here. A lot of times you'll see torpedoes coming through that gap. And this gap. Daring stuff to torpedo and smoke because he's got hydro. It's not impossible, but it's tough. Throws a set toward Daring. Another set back toward where the Shima was located and where Thunder is pushing up. Daring says, to heck with this, I'm getting out of here. Baddutch wisely holds his fire. He's focused now on trying to secure the cap. He can just inch forward just a hair and get out of the way of the torpedoes. Not so much that he eats the torpedoes that are coming across. Yeah, really nicely done. Way to thread the needle. Here comes some more. Just reverses out of the way. And the fact that you're seeing two torpedoes there, almost certainly that is the result of another bug that was introduced in update 0.10.5. People call it the curving torpedo bug. They don't really curve. It just, your aim point is not what it shows on the indicator. If you're turning to the starboard side, your torpedoes are going to aim to starboard of where you've aimed. That's where they're actually going to go. Same with if you're turning to port, they're going to launch to port of where you're aiming. They travel in a straight line. They don't curve. They just don't. They don't launch where you aim them. Well, they very nearly secured that cap. Grossovoy's still in there. But our hero, probably wisely so, decided to get the heck out of there. There's the Shima. Momentarily detected. The enemy Yamato says, no, nope, 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 nope. And goes nose into the rocks in an effort to try to avoid eating torpedoes. Baddutch is going to have an opportunity here because there's really nowhere for that Yami to go. Put out one more set. It's going to turn around. And if the Yoshino happens to push up this way, maybe you catch him as well. Ship was turning, so we may see one or two land in the island there. To fire or not to fire? Baddutch opts to go ahead and shoot. That's one torpedo hit. No flood, unfortunately, but Yamato did put the fire out, so if he eats another one and floods, he's going to flood for a while. Little chip damage from the Yamato. And our hero is detected, which means that Shima's got him spotted. There's the flood we were hoping for. See if you can tack another fire on top of that. Yep, that Yamato, he is sunk. Yoshino's fire gets credit for the kill, but nicely done nonetheless. Good guys are down, a Gearing and a Grosavoy. The Grosavoy who stayed in the cap. He paid for that by being sunk. Now that's a really tough nut to crack there. You've got a Daring and a Shima in the Alpha cap. Baddutch throws some torpedoes out ahead of their likely traverse between the caps. And does the same again. Really probably a good idea. So my guess is Daring is still in the smoke. Shima's probably moved and is spotting. That smoke's not going to be there much longer. Unless the Shima added his smoke as he crossed through there. Daring got the heck out of there. I imagine with his Hydro, he saw the first set and said, no, I'm not sticking around for any more of those things. Both teams now down 3 ships, but the good guys, well, they're losing ground because the bad guys hold 2 caps. You can see that there's an enemy Thunderer that's just about gone. Let's hope maybe Ohio can get guns on him and finish him. Yeah, there he is right there. Baddutch calls him as a target. And he goes dark. Nope, there he is again. Baddutch trying to get shells and actually does get shells on the Shima. And that enemy Thunderer, he's not long for this world. Baddutch just continues to rain shells on the Shima. This could do it. Oh, so close. One more shot at him. And I think that's probably going to be all it takes. Well, somebody beat him to it, but still, nicely done. And I think it was smart to turn in here. There might be torpedoes coming through this gap. Got a Yoshino behind you that would have been a juicy target for those torpedoes. There they are. Now, if you're not someone who plays destroyers a lot, um, that is a really good thing to do. I'm assuming that Baddutch was doing that here. Always keep an eye on what's behind you, because although the bad guys may not see you, they probably see the bigger ships that are behind you. And if you get between an enemy destroyer and a large visible target that is behind you, well, you're probably sitting right in the lane that the enemy torpedoes are going to be traveling. So in general, my advice is, when you know where the red DD is, do not sit right between that ship and a large visible ship on your team. Baddutch looks like he's going to be able to secure this cap. Despite the aircraft, they're going after the Ohio, which, it is very banged up, so I can kind of understand that, but still. And Baddutch does secure the Bravo cap for his team. Good job. Puts out a set of torpedoes in the hope that Montana will come around that corner. Now, Ohio is just pushing closer and closer, and what that means is if the aircraft keep coming for him, they're going to spot Baddutch. In keeping with what I was saying a minute ago, Ohio was visible, so you've got torpedoes that were meant for Ohio that are kind of headed this way. Baddutch is smoking for Ohio, but it's been my experience in this game that is rarely going to bear fruit. Good guys lose 2 more ships, Ohio and the other Shimakaze on the team. And now this smoke is a torpedo target. Some very nice shooting over the island. It's a fire start. Just continuing to chip away at that Montana. Now, Daring is probably close. CV drops the Montana, and down he goes. So the closest enemy ship is this direction now. You can tell that by the radio location indicator, or radio position finder, depending on how long you've been playing the game, which will show you the general direction of the nearest enemy ship. If you look at the minimap, that kind of illuminated pie-shaped wedge that's on the minimap, that shows you the kind of the area that ship's going to be in, but it doesn't tell you the range or anything else about it. So what can we discern from that? Well, you can see where the Daring's last known position was on the minimap. It's up there at Charlie 1. Almost certainly the Daring is chasing down the Immelmann and keeping the Immelmann lit for the Thunderer. So we might see the Immelmann take damage and continue to take damage if that's the case, if Daring is keeping the friendly CV lit. And I'm guessing that's the case because the Immelmann is he's running for the hills, and there is the Daring just as expected. Now the radio location indicator is saying the nearest ship is out this way. You can see the pie-shaped wedge. So the Yoshino is the nearest ship to our hero's location. And he was turning to starboard, so those torpedoes are going to go to starboard of where he aimed them. Not turning at all, so and Baddutch is making a run for the cap. It's a good call, I think. I don't think that first set of torpedoes is going to catch the Yoshino, but It might dissuade the Yoshino from heading this way. The enemy CV is going to know right where Baddutch is at as soon as he sees the cap starting to flip. Now the friendly CV going after the Thunderer makes it a little harder for those torpedoes to hit, because the Thunderer is going to be, well, presumably going to be maneuvering to avoid whatever the CV was doing. But I think in this case, I think that Thunderer is probably in big trouble. Well, he eats 3 of the torpedoes, that's significant. And he is continuing to flood. So the bad guys, it's got a 4-ship to 3 advantage. The bad guys still have their CV. Baddutch takes out the Thunderer with flooding and captures the Alpha Cap. Pretty spectacular game, Baddutch. And here come the aircraft as we expected. Yoshino's guns are probably pointed this way. I mean, what else does he have to shoot at? Baddutch does have smoke, but he's wisely using the island for cover, so he only has to deal with the aircraft. And you can see that Immelman's bombers are coming in. Skip bombers do a little bit of damage. And Baddutch throws out some torpedoes. Now, I don't know whether those torpedoes were targeted on the Yoshino or on the Montana, but either way, I don't think they have any chance of landing. Immelman might be reversing. If he's not reversing, those torpedoes are going to land home. I don't think I would fire here. If Immelman's paying attention, he's going to start moving that ship right away, but if he doesn't, those torpedoes are going to just wreck him. Friendly Yoshino, friendly Des Moines, they've both played good games. But they're kind of forced up into the corner at this point because they don't want to eat a big shot from the Montana or the Yoshino. Skip bombers coming in again. And a shot from the Yoshino. Skip bombers are just devastating. Did the Immelman move? Well, we're going to find out here in just the next few seconds. There's 1, 2, 3 torpedo hits on the Immelman. Good guys still have a lead and can still win this game. Take a look at the scoreboard up there. 85 shells and counting on target, 6 floods on tour, 8 torpedo hits, 4 incapacitations, 2 caps, a couple of fires, detected something, sank something, shot down 7 aircraft. That's miraculous in Shima. 5 decaps and counting. That is fantastic. Baddutch comes out of the smoke. And I think this one's in the bag. All right, 100 shells on target, 8 torpedo hits for 6 floods, 4 incapacitations, 2 caps, 3 fires, sank a ship, 7 aircraft and counting shot down, 5 decaps, 193,000 plus damage. Baddutch, fantastic game. Ooh, man, that was close. 44 HP, 44 seconds left in the game. And this one is going to go into the record books in the W column. Thanks a lot for sending it, Baddutch, and thanks for joining me, everyone. I'll see you next time.